Galactic Mining Inc. became a mega corporation by mining the asteroids and planets in our local solar system. Knowing that humanity cannot be restricted to one planet for too much longer, a fleet of terraforming ships were built in Earth orbit. These massive ships, crewed by robots, were sent out in all directions in the year 2050. Their mission was to find new worlds ripe for terraforming, land on the planet, and get the process started. Once the process had been started, the ship would communicate its position to GMI headquarters so that human colonists could begin making their way to the planet. Many ships made it to a world. Many colonists were shipped out to found new settlements. However, several of these terraforming vessels were never heard from again. You are part of the crew of the Buzzard, a GMI cargo and mining operations ship. The crew consists of you, an operations officer, a first officer, and a captain. The remainder of the crew are all robotic. GMI sends ships like the Buzzard out for extended duration mining trips regularly, and makes a tidy profit doing it. GMI pays you and the crew very well to do this often dangerous job. GMI has sent the Buzzard out for a routine mining mission to a new planet. I'd like to welcome everybody out to the third installment of the GMI Devblog. I like doing these Devblogs to show off exactly what progress has been made along the way in creating this game. This is the terraforming ship. As you can see, it's massive. You've already seen this in Devblog 1, I believe. Since then, I've gotten a little bit more detail in the engines, added some smaller thrusters here. There's several different sections to this ship. You have, of course, the engine bay or propulsion bay. This is going to be the terraforming section of the ship, where all of the terraforming equipment and storage tanks will be located. This is your hangar bay. As you see here, we already have one of the shuttles in the bay, so you can get a better look at exactly how big and cavernous this actual ship is. This little ship right here is the shuttle that the player will find in the ship when they board it. Did a little bit of rigging on this ship. You can see my bones right there. I even rigged these so that you can move them around a little bit and be able to make it a little bit more realistic. As you can see, they move in, they move out, and of course both sides do that. We can also rotate the engines. And there are several different versions of this ship, which I'm not going to go into right now. They are accessible to the player via upgrades. There's a larger cargo section. There's mining lasers that can be attached to the wings. All sorts of different things. So that's the little mining shuttle that the player will be mostly navigating the world in. The next area is the habitation area. As you can see, this habitation area is round and huge, and it posed a lot of different challenges to me as a designer to be able to put these apartment rooms in here around this round section. I've never been very good at modeling in the round like this, but I found ways of doing it. There's only going to be several of these rooms that are going to be habitable, but the player will be able to choose which room that they would like to call their own. This is the aft section right here. and this is pointing towards the bow right here. We have two elevator shafts here, which take you from the ground level all the way up to the top two levels. Access to the second level is done via a stairwell right here, which I built into the wall. It's going straight up there. In the center here, there will be some trees and grass and other stuff to sort of make the colonists that are calling this ship their home feel a little bit more like they're at home. In the very beginning, this area will be blank. There will be nothing in it, but it'll be part of the game to actually plant some stuff there and truly make it yours. That's the plan. These elevators here are all windowed. So the depressions you see right there and right there, these are all windows. And the actual elevator cab itself is right here. You can see there that it is windowed as well, so you can see out of the elevator shaft, which I thought was a very, very neat addition to the whole aesthetic. Now, I've also been working on other sections of the ship. It's a good view right here. Right here you have the bridge, which I have not yet started on. Over here you have your med bay. This is going to be a lab space, which I need to kit out and make some items for. This is your seed storage bank. This is where all the seeds are stored for the plants and fauna that the terraforming ship is carrying on board. Still need to add a robotic arm that will be traveling along the roof of this storage unit and able to pick out these different drawers and send them to different parts of the ship. This is what controls the entire thing. It's your control desk right here. Coming over to the medical bay. This took me a little bit of time. This is basically an analyzation computer. It analyzes what's going on. What I was thinking about when building this was basically a supercomputer. It needs to be cooled adequately. This is a med bed right here that I also rigged. As you can see, the bone right there. This backrest here can rotate up and down. Then you have your scanning device right here. And of course this can move. It telescopes up, and then this bends over, and then the whole unit traverses along a track right here to scan the entire patient. All the information then appears on this computer screen here, which is also on a nice swing arm right there that's also been rigged. That one took me quite a bit to actually design and get completed. On the other side of the hall, you have a hydroponics bay. You have the stereotypical round planter devices that'll have a light tube going through them, and then all the small plants planted in trays rotating around on the outside. This right here is going to be one of the tables to go ahead and get the seeds planted and started. The player will access seed storage, as you saw in the last room, through this terminal interface right here. Once the player has chosen what seeds they'd like to get started, the seeds are then picked out of the data bank in the other room, sent to this, and put into a drawer right here. As you see that we have those tubes right there. That's what the seeds are came in. After that, the robot arm here, which is also fully rigged, will come and pick up the seed container out of the drawer here and proceed to plant the seeds in the bed here. The flat areas right here will have UV growing lights. So once the seeds are planted, the lights will turn on here and the plants will be able to grow. Did not include like a watering system here. I figured that a ship like this would have hydroponics, so therefore the water would be flowing right underneath where the plant roots are. Below this, on the first deck, we have this room. This is where all of the robotic crew will be found when you first enter the ship. These are their charging stations. There'll be two of these rooms, one on this side and then one over here as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of robotic crew. My plan is to have two different types of robots. You're going to have basically bridge robots, or robots that are responsible for the operation of the ship, and you also have robots that are meant for the more maintenance type roles on the ship, as well as working over here in the cargo bay. As you see, I have not started on the terraforming room yet, and I haven't done anything with the engine room yet. But both of those areas will be in the game, and the player will need to actually interact with those areas in order to accomplish their mission. There is one more room that I've also added to the game here, and that is an auditorium up front. As you see, this has a balcony area here with seating and a podium right here, which will allow someone to put images and other informationals up on the video display board right here. Then down below on the first level, we have a freestanding desk that people will be able to stand at. Each have their own computer terminal here for displaying information up here or accessing information from the ship's data bank. That's all the rooms that I've actually gotten done so far. Once I get the bridge done, then some corridors will begin to get added to link everything up. And then after that, we will start in on adding some things to the hangar deck here. And of course, getting the terraforming deck done and a little bit of the engineering deck done as well. But I hope you can see everything's coming right along. Now, if you're keen to support this project, please do so by liking this video or subscribe if you want to keep track of what's going on and be notified when I launch a new devblog. I'm going to try to do these a little bit more often. I can't promise anything as I do have a full-time job, but this is a passion project, so I do not plan on letting this go anytime soon. This will be out sooner than later, I'm imagining. This is one of the last things that I need to really get off the plate before I start in on actually getting shaders done for the rest of the game. I had a very talented artist, linked down below in the description, off of Fiverr, come up with this logo for me. This will be the logo for the game. This will be emblazoned on the ship's hull. This will be all over the place. I really love the work that she's done, and she'll be doing much more work in the future on other graphic projects that need to be done inside the game.